Hello everybody, welcome back to Cape Rugby TV. It's live on Wednesdays here on Cape Town TV. Nice to have you along. It's been a fantastic weekend of rugby. Of course, our folks are celebrating a Ramadan at the moment and not playing, but we're still having some great rugby out there, and we of course send you the blessings of Ramadan and look forward to getting you back on the park as soon as possible. On the panel this evening, it's the esteemed Mr. Herman Abrams, the Deputy CEO of Western Province Rugby. Hello, Mr. H.
Good evening, JP.
And the gorgeous Mariska Lewitz, captain of Western Province Women's Rugby team. Hello, Mariska.
Hi, JP. Thanks for having me here.
It's long overdue.
Yes.
I'm stuck with this mob every weekend. And Egan Seconds, my man, looking devilishly handsome tonight.
Thank you, JP. Apart from the shine, of course.
We'll get a close-up. We'll get a close-up of that during the course of the show still. But yes, it is, of course, Cape Rugby TV tonight. And for those of you that don't know, it was Mr. Herman Abrams' birthday yesterday. Was it the day before yesterday or yesterday?
Yesterday.
So we brought you a little something. Where's Annie Pink? Annie Pink is our rugby girl who was, of course, out at UCT. So we just want to say a little happy birthday to Mr. Abrams. Annie, just pop it right over here for me in the middle of the table. And Mr. H, you're going to have to... Meneer, ek weet nie of jy nog die longe het daarvan nie. En ek sien Annie het die koek so ver weggesit, maar you're going to have to lean forward. Mariska, you want to help out there? So you're going to have to blow out the candles
and
for
make
the folks.
A wish.
And make a wish, yes. Well, happy birthday, Mr. H. And
Thank you.
All those
really nice. I appreciate it.
I hope it's a nice cake.
Yeah.
And, all those dedicated years of service to Western Province Rugby, which I know so many people forget about, and don't always say thank you to, and of course, happy birthday,
Yeah.
So let's get on with the show. We'll leave the cake for later.
I will just tell you, I was at the 50th birthday on Monday night.
Your 50th?
No, a
Yes.
cousin of mine.
Cousin.
And it was a fantastic party, and I especially like the pole dance that she did at the end,
Oh yeah, did she? Pole dance? At your cousin's party?
Yeah,
wow.
It's her 50th.
At her 50th?
Yeah, cousin Beryl,
Yes.
Fantastic. But it's a family show, so I won't talk about pole dancing.
And she was actually pole dancing?
Yeah.
Well, I must say I'm quite impressed, actually.
That's why we weren't invited.
50th. 50th pole dancing, your cousin Beryl. Every household actually has a cousin Beryl.
Definitely, I agree.
A cousin Beryl and an Uncle Dougie. I'll never forget the stories of Uncle Dougie. Many of the folks who used to listen to us on Good Hope FM back in the day will remember the stories of Uncle Dougie. Every household has an Uncle Dougie. And of course, in that case, we were referring to Dougie Dyers, a legend in the Western Province rugby circles. But let's take a look now at some of the results over the weekend. All right, it was, of course, an interesting result. Steinhoff Vix playing against Hammies, 24-31. Nice win there for Hamilton's over Vix. Villagers going down to Durbell, 18-14. Marties losing to UCT and False Bay, 31-12. Nice win for them over Helderberg. Egan, let's start with you. Vix, 24-31, a nice win for Hammies, huh?
Yeah, especially against the students there. I mean, we all know what type of rugby they play. It's an expansive game, and they only scored 2 tries against us. It got close at the end, but Hamilton's kept composure and got away with 5 points.
Mr. H, I've got to ask you, this question seems to come in quite a lot. How does the Vix Marties setup work? Are you allowed to, if you're playing for Marties' first team, are you allowed to play for Vix?
No, not immediately.
Not immediately?
You must...
You mean like you've got to finish the game first and then go...
No. You can't play the next week unless there's a player that takes your place that comes back from Western Province.
Okay.
Otherwise, you must stay there or you must drop out of the team to a lower team. But you can't go to Vix.
And that structure's in place to make it fair for...
Marties needs to send their teams to us every Friday morning, and we check that none of the players, are played around. So I mean, they played last night, Marties and Vix.
Marties and Vix played against each other.
Yeah, and the Vix were leading right up to the end.
Yeah.
Marties scored right at the end, and it was quite a tough game.
Yeah.
There were 3 yellow cards and 1 red card, so there was no
holding back there.
Yeah, no love lost between.
Let's go back to that Hamilton's game. Hammies against Vix over the weekend. A tough match then, Eags, you say?
Yeah, we also know, of course, that we don't want to depend on other teams doing us favors. We were hoping Ike's would do us that favor, and they did. But as long as we keep doing our job, we know we're playing Marties right at the end of the season, and we don't want to come to a scenario where we're hoping and wishing other teams would do something for us. So it was a big one for us to go to Kutsenberg and get 5 points. We got away with that, and we're taking it week by week now at the moment.
And of course, Durban beating Villagers, that's a nice positive result there. Villagers probably, you get the feeling that things are not going Villagers' way this year.
But they were unlucky, you know, leading 11-0 and late in the game, 14-10, they were still leading, and then a try on time and they're out of the game.
But talk about unlucky. I think unlucky of the weekend. We were unlucky, or shouldn't say we were unlucky. Yes, we were a little bit unlucky. Cape Town TV was a little bit unlucky over the weekend, but I'm not going to get too much into that right now. But Marties was a little bit unlucky against UCT over the weekend. Let's take a look. We managed to catch some footage there of the match at Grooteskier, which is of course the University A field at UCT, as the Ike's played against Marties. Let's take a look, see what happened.
Are you guys big UCC supporters? Or?
Massive UCC
absolutely
supporters,
huge, absolutely huge.
So I guess you're over the moon that they won today.
Ridiculous. Yeah. If you want, we'll show you how over the moon we are when we get into the pub in about 5 minutes. It'll be fantastic.
I'm ecstatic. I mean, playing for the Blue and White Hoops, and this is the first time since 1974 that we've beaten them twice in a row. I mean, twice in 1 year. So I mean, it's going to be a long Saturday night there.
And did you guys expect to win? And how did you prepare?
We had a deep belief that we could win. I mean, we've been preparing for this for like the past 3-4 years. So it's been coming, and the belief was there, and we knew we could do it.
Well, that certainly looked like it didn't go quite the way for Marties on the day. I know they were rather upset after that loss. Tell you more about that on another day off air. But yes, a fantastic win there for UCT. The crowd certainly going mad. And as you saw in the slow motion, that is the try that everybody's been talking about, is that it was a 50-50. But we managed to film it. We managed to show it on slow motion that it was a real try. And in actual fact, Sammy from Western Province Rugby was the referee on the spot to adjudicate that try, and it was clearly a try. Egan,
Yeah.
when it's a time like that, and the ball is coming over the line, You don't fiddle around, eh?
No. The Marty's guy, they should have just made safe, picked it up or kicked it out or something.
Yeah.
But he was hoping it would roll over the try line, of course.
Yeah.
And the UCT guy was just a little bit more awake at the time.
But that's experience. Eh? I mean, there's a time and a place that you know, okay, I've got a split second to see if it's going to roll over.
Yeah, and I mean, at that time, UCT was firing because they just got back into the game to equal the score.
In actual fact, there we see the repeat now again. You can see it in very slow motion there. The Marty's player just not getting to it, and the UCT wing flying through and of course getting to the ball just on time.
It's just a lack of concentration also.
Yeah,
you got to, at that time, it's so late in the game, anything could happen.
Yes.
It's safety first, and it cost them the game.
Cost them the game, and but as I said, it comes down to experience. You don't make those mistakes.
Definitely.
I mean, Marty's were looking for a draw there.
That's right.
And it was that little mistake that cost them the game.
That's right.
But Mr. H, you say that last night Marty's went back to the top of the log.
Yep.
And that's of course after their win against Vix.
Yeah, it was a tough game for them, and you can understand they're playing Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, so it's tough for them.
Let's speak to this gorgeous lady that we've got on the show here, which is, as I say, I'm so thankful finally to have a female presence on the show here. Mariska Lewis is the captain of the Western Province rugby team. She also played for the Springboks, the women's Springbok side?
Yes, 2005.
What position do you play?
I play scrum off.
And today, still?
Scrum off.
Still scrum off?
Yes.
How are things going with women's rugby?
Well, at this matter of time, the SA women are currently at the Nations Cup in Canada.
Yeah.
I've seen on Facebook they've lost the first one, and against Canada they've won the second one against USA, which is a good result because at the World Cup we struggled, but it looks like that we're getting to where they are trying to get to. I think the next is the Sevens World Cup, so I think they're working to get a great result towards the Sevens World Cup, and I think especially now we've got under 16s Western Province, under 18 Western Province, and we're actually starting to.
I mean, you've been at Western Province for quite a while now, since I think 2004.
Yes.
And I mean, we get a lot of people saying, why don't we show more women's rugby? Why is there no support for women's rugby? I mean, and we know that things have not always been 100% focused on women's rugby. But do you think things are getting a little bit better?
I think it is.
You're wearing a nice shirt.
Thanks. I think it is getting better. And for the people that haven't watched it, they tend to comment about it and say, why must women play rugby? But I don't think if you haven't actually been to a game, you can't say anything about it because, yes, it's physical, maybe not as physical as the men, but we love it just as much as the men love it. And, we play with our whole hearts. And I think if you want to see it, go out there and go watch a game. It's really something to see.
It's almost more attractive to look at though as well, I mean.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, talking about the rugby now.
Okay.
Of course we're definitely talking about the rugby, folks. But Mariska, I mean, also on your travels, you've travelled around the world. You've played for the women's Springbok side. You've played Western Province tour as well, and sevens. You played for, I think you played for a number of sevens teams as well. How's women's rugby internationally? Because we obviously only compare things in our own backyard. How much attention does rugby get overseas?
Well, I've been to London for one season. I played for the London Wasps, and it was. Comparing to rugby locally, it was something completely different. I mean, it was because of the development there. They start from a young age, like boys rugby. They start from a young age there. It's with the girls. They play tag rugby, and that's why it's so much more developed there. And it was the physicality. I had a bloody nose in the first game I played. Yeah. And in the first, I think it was the first 2 minutes, and all they said is, "Welcome to England." Yeah. and that's it. And it was, but I learned a lot. The experience I gained there was amazing, and it was.
Maar jy speel hierso jou tuisklub, hierso as die Maties.
Yep. Ek het altyd vir Goodwood gespeel, maar ek moet sê ek's nou Matie Girls.
Hoekom het jy gemove?
Ons klub het opgebreek. En die volgende optie was net Maties.
Die Goodwood vrouwmens?
Ja, Goodwood vrouwmens.
Ja. En toe gaan speel jy vir Maties?
Ja, ons afrigter het...
Ek meen, dit is ook net om die draai.
Ja, en die Maties gees is ongelukkig iets wat mense kan kry.
Die Maties hulle eie vrouwenspan?
Ja.
Meer spelers daar so, 'n bietjie meer diepte?
Ons sukkel met die studente, want die studente kom en gaan, so ons het nooit dieselfde spelers nie. So ja, maar daar is altyd mense om 'n span te maak, daar is altyd mense wat willig is om te speel.
Ja.
party is 40 en hulle kom speel, so ja.
Well, they say that you only get to the good times at the age of 40. We also managed to, speaking about Marties, we managed to catch up with the coach and captain of UCT, Kevin Foote, and Nick Fenton-Wells. This was after the UCT Marties game. Let's hear what the boys had to say fieldside.
Yeah, happy. I mean, could never have called that final, but the guys hung in and it was a very brave effort to win that in the end. Yeah, I knew it was going to be tight. It was always going to be tight against Marties, and they've got a very good pack. With us going down to 14 men, we were brave to keep them out. So, yeah, massive play for 80 minutes and the guys did well. Yeah, I mean, we won it in the last 2 minutes, so just happy, very, very happy. Yeah, so it came down to playing for the 80. We haven't won this league since 1974, so that's our goal, It's something special and something we're working forward to, but we've got another game next week and we'll just put the boots back on for that one.
Yeah, cracking result. Very happy. It's awesome. I mean, the guys played so well, hung in there. We were in a couple of dark places at some times, but the guys pulled through and it was a great performance. Because I think, towards the middle of the game, the bounce of the ball wasn't really going our way. But I think towards the end, a couple of things went our way and, we happened to score the try in the last couple of minutes. That's how rugby goes. But I suppose there definitely wasn't much in the two teams. I think very evenly matched sides. I think we were just, pulled through, wanted it more, I think, at the end of the day. In the general play, I think the guys did really well. We're going to have there are a couple of things that we need to work on, obviously, but no game's going to be perfect. You're always going to make mistakes. I think we've got a really good opportunity now. We'll take every game as it comes. But there's just such a great vibe within the club, and everybody just pulls together. And as I said, I think at the end of the day, we just really wanted it more.
It was very kind of the coach and captain of UCT to step out and have a chat with us there. And of course, Annie Kamya, our rugby pink girl, was on scene to have a chat with some of the fans at UCT, and they were over the moon with that result. Of course, it didn't last very long as Marties made a comeback yesterday against Vix and managed to get back on top of the logs. Mr. H, who's going to club champs?
Marties.
Marties going to club champs. All right, we'll leave it at that. And of course, Hamilton staying the front runner. Nice win for them over Vix at the Craven Stadium. Village, as you say, they led 11-0 at half time.
They were up there, yes.
Yeah. JP Costa, of course, the brother of Nick Costa, he ran in a few tries for False Bay.
Yeah, that gave them the edge, over Helderberg.
Yeah. So. Let's take a look at Super League B. Of course, some interesting results in the Super League B space. NNK, a result for them, 42-13 over Kales River. And Belleville, what happened there, folks? There was a win and a half for Belleville beating Brackenfell, 89-29, and Hands and Hearts beating Peniel Villages, 33-18. Egan, I mean, you know the scenario at Belleville.
I was surprised by that score myself.
Why?
I just, maybe I thought Brackenfell was a little bit stronger than that.
Yeah.
We know that Belleville has been blowing hot and cold. We were there at the one game, and the following week they lost again. And then to put such a big score, I think it was a bit of a backlash maybe of them taking it out on Brackenfell. The fact that
Bracken were bragging a little bit in the week,
That's what
I mean, that was posts will be internet, it'll be Facebook. By the way, folks, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. Yeah. All right, tonight I'm going to give a set of double tickets to the match. Western Province playing this weekend at Newlands, Mr. H?
Friday night
game,
Sharks.
All right, against the Sharks. And I think there's some of the junior teams also playing.
Both under 19 and under 21.
Both under 19 and under 20 are playing at Newlands on Friday night. If you want to hook up yourself up with a set of double tickets, it's on Facebook. That's where I'm giving those tickets away. www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. I'm going to find something interesting on Facebook tonight. This evening we sat on 1,700 viewers. I want you to jump on and say hello. If you're out there right now, get on your mobile phone. It's as easy as getting on the phone or getting on your PC and get on Facebook. Facebook Mobile is probably the very easiest way to use it, folks. All you need to do is get on your phone, put on the application Facebook, and you'll be able to engage with us on Facebook. But it's in the Facebook space. Come up with something wild and interesting. Funny chirp, funny line, aggro question. We really don't mind. Just throw something out there. Let's grow those numbers. I want tonight, we'll see if we can hit 2,000. We were on 1,700 earlier on. We'll give you feedback during the course of the show. But yes, Brackenfell was definitely on Facebook over the week prior to this win. En hulle was groot bek. Ek wag nog steeds vir die ou van Goodwood, Chuck, om my te sê. Eintlik gaan net daarso. But Goodwood also is doing okay. But we'll get to We'll get to Goodwood in a minute or so.
But Bellville scored 9 tries. You know, it's amazing.
9 tries.
Yeah.
But I mean, when we watched the match, Bellville against Hands and Hearts, you could see that. I mean, it was a high-scoring game, but you could see that these guys have got talent in the team. They've got physically, they've got what it takes. They just didn't string it together necessarily defensively on the day. A little bit of disappointing play, but then they come out and they do this.
They do that, yeah. I think they were hoping that they would get extra bonus points because of the slip-ups also. By scoring 89 points, but it's still only 5 points you get at the end of the day.
Yeah, of course, the province system, if you score 4 tries or more, it's a 1 point bonus try, as opposed to in the Super 15 you get 2 points. Is it?
No, the same.
Also 1 point. Yeah.
Same system.
All right, it's a mistake, folks. It's just a mistake. Don't jump up and down. All right. Like last week, Primrose, your jersey is still up on the wall. No one said anything bad about Primrose. Okay. But what we did say is that any team out there who does cause trouble and is found guilty, if they are found guilty and does, that means if we factually know, then I will not hang your jersey up here, all right? That doesn't mean I'm not hanging, but okay, so get the story right. Listen to the entire sentence, not just the first part of the sentence. But yeah, no, so it was an interesting result there.
Read the whole letter.
Read the whole letter. Don't just read the first sentence. Yeah. No, but of course, on the Primrose case, I must say they've been doing some fantastic work with youth rugby.
Yeah.
You know, and we're looking forward to getting out there, as has Trafalgar, and there's more youth structures out there that are doing as good rugby. And in this case, of course, we're talking about youth at clubs, but there are youth at schools. We're going to catch up with them as well. But the guys at Primrose and the youth, the kids there, make sure you keep doing such a great job. We know you're doing it, and as a result, we do want to come out there and film the kids one of these days. Let's quickly look at the results in a Premier League A. It's Elsie going down to Langa over the weekend. Goodwood, 29-15 over Kraaifontein. They were looking for that result. Hamlets beating Stelkor, 20 points to 9. Mr. H, Goodwood, there we go. Nice result for them.
They're making sure that they are going to get promotion. They're well ahead in their section. So it looks like they will be at.
Well, the coach seems to have his act together. I mean, he's strict on his players. Of course, this is Gert Rademan, whose book we showed you last week. And I think during the course of the season, we'll try and get Gert on the show, and he can tell us more about that book. I see the book is endorsed by Western Province Rugby. There's forwards there from Dougie Dyers and a few other people from Jeff Krauser's mentioned in the book. And it's an interesting book. It's not a textbook book. It's a picture-y, visual book. So Gert is obviously applying his skills in a different ways to make sure that Goodwood stays on the top. So anyway, yes, a good result there. And Hamlet's beating Stelkor. Let's move into Premier League B now. Milnerton going down to UWC. Macassar 17 points to 6 over Franschhoek. Is that the kind of result that we were looking for? Well, I don't know. Macassar 17-6 over a UWC. At least not over Franschhoek.
Yeah.
Sort of expected that?
Expected, yes.
Yeah, now the question, Mr. H, that many people had this weekend is, where are we going this weekend?
We are going to watch Silurians take on UWC.
Hello, Meredith. Yes, you're live on Cape Town TV. Yes, so listen, we just want Meredith Davidson, folks. See, this is how easy it is to prove to you that we are live. Meredith, please don't swear now, okay?
He doesn't know.
Okay, I've got to keep Meredith very close to my microphone here. So, folks, this is as easy as it is. We'll see if we can up the... Meredith, I've got great news for you. We're coming to watch you guys play Solarians this weekend.
Fantastic. Thanks, JP. It'll be awesome. We're looking forward to having you there.
Thanks, Meredith. We'll chat to you later. Bye. Meredith Davidson is, of course, the manager at UWC. Live phone call. We could phone Auntie Audrey as well, but we're not going to phone Auntie Audrey now. I think she says klaar voete opgezet. But so yes, folks, that's where we're going over the weekend. It's going to be an enormous cracker. They reckon that they're trying to stay on top of the league. It's UWC against Solarians.
Talking about Auntie Audrey, just to say that the president took his seat in his office today.
Is that seat a lot lower now?
Don't go there.
Don't go there, okay.
But Auntie Audrey just came to check that he doesn't upset himself in the first hour or so. but he's back.
And that didn't help it at all, because the stress levels do run high there. Western Province Rugby, very difficult organisation to administer. You can imagine 90 clubs and 17,000 players with more than 3,000 fixtures during the course of the season. I don't actually know how you guys do it, where there's such a small team and you have to administer 17. The government alone doesn't have that sort of squad. Let's look at Premier League B now, at least. Let's move to Premier League B's further results there. We've got a fantastic fan pick in from Constance. Solarians 39-13 over Laguna. Good result for them, and a nice picture that came in there on Facebook for us. Let's look at the results in Division 1 now. Yes, Young Wesley's, nice and close, but not close enough. Going down to Eerste River, 7 points to 6. Strand lost to Boland Mark, 18-17. Wraithby Universals, 19-20, lost by 1 point. At least going down to Carlamore. Paarl Rangers 11-9 over Northerns. Blue Stars 27-17 over Whistling Wheels. All Saints going down to Rocklands 13 points to 8. And yes, I know Rocklands, the guys from Rocklands have been asking us to come out and film. At least somebody's asking to film. So yes, Rocklands, we're going to try and get out to you guys. We're also asking you that if we were to do a live game, a Saturday live game, which fixtures for the remainder of the season would you recommend? All right, so you need to get onto Facebook right now, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV, and make some recommendations. If we were to do a live game, we're still trying to find a sponsor to do a live game, and I know Mr. H isn't going to tell us what his birthday wish was for when he blew out those candles, but I know it was for a sponsor. But Mr. H, wouldn't it be fantastic if we could go
it will
live broadcast?
It will be great. Of course, we need to get, the commentators and all, and that we might also find amongst the club members.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it certainly can't be us. I mean, we've got to be there with a suit and tie on, and that kind of thing, and field side, and Riske, jy moet natuurlijk jou pak aantrek vir die dag, né? Seker te maak dat ons 'n gekwalifiseerde vroumense rugby speler daar sou het, om seker te maak. But it would be great. I mean, not just only one game, but if we could do live games every Saturday.
Great exposure also. I mean,
fantastic.
The club systems now with the show, how things are going now, and then to get that on live TV, I mean, then it's actually answering everybody's question about club rugby.
This weekend would actually have been perfect because Province is playing on the Friday.
That's right.
And if we then had a live club game on the Saturday. But of course, folks, if we are going to do a live club game, then you would have to make sure that you have thousands and thousands of fans out there. But we know you've got thousands of fans, especially now that Cape Rugby TV is covering your matches. Let's finally look at the final set of the results there in Division 3. Young Brothers beating Bishop Lavis 20 points to 0. Richmond Rangers going down to retreat 7-3. Imakawi, as the acting president last week was telling me, fellow Wakefield, Imakawi, and I probably still don't have it right. I don't think Imakawi. 19 points. This white guys, we still got to work on it, folks. Ons wat mense ons werk nog steeds aan die ding. Peninsula beating Titans 27-17. And in the Paarl region, Lower Paarl 35-18 over Young Standards. Parel United going down to Riverstones 32-30. Allendale 22-22 against Windmill United, a nice draw for them. And Violets beating Albions and Simundium going down to Young Gardens 32 points to 5. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of the logs and we'll show just who's on top and who's lying where, who's lying first, second and third, etc. Back in a moment. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to Cape Rugby TV. We're live here on Cape Town TV. Fantastic to see those comments coming in on Facebook. I see there's been a few birthday wishes for Mr. H. You're going to have to go back now to Facebook. I know you're a big Facebook fan. But yes, Shuaib Bawuddin got some pictures there of Young Roslins Rugby Football Club's Grand Challenge. Hands and Hearts, Florida Park. Versus Tigerberg. That's a team because we're getting some recommendations in here for some live broadcasts, folks. Northerns versus Wraithby coming broadcast live. Hands and Hearts in Brackenfell. There's another recommendation there for H&H. I must come and watch Eerste Rivier. Derbies versus Hammies this weekend. And Dion de Twee also says, and NNK versus Tigerberg from Brandon Grant, Jonathan Titus, Dion de Twee, Marius Irvier, all these guys on Facebook. Thanks for joining us, guys. And remember, I am going to give away a set of double tickets to somebody on the Facebook page this evening. Just give me something decent to work with. I'm looking for something funny. Maybe a pick. Have you got a pick at home? why not a pic of a birthday cake at home? Send it through to us. We'll pass the picture via the Facebook to Mr. H. Let's quickly look at some of the logs in Super League A. Hemis, SK Warmers and Marties are still sitting in the top 3. They're reasonably comfortable. We move now to Super League B. It's NNK in first place. They're sitting nice and comfortable above Bellville. I think that's what they were looking for, both having played 14 matches. Tigerberg's in third, and they're going to have to do some serious work if they're planning on catching up with NNK or Bellville. But Tigerberg still has 3 games in hand. In Premier League A, it's Goodwood, St George's and Scottsdene. In the Premier League B, UWC are at the top against Silurians. This is, of course, the match that they were talking about. Mr. H, we're going to watch UWC play against Silurians. UWC and Silurians both played 12 games. UWs are on top by just 2 points. It's a close match.
Very close.
I mean, when I spoke to Meredith earlier on, the manager we phoned live earlier on, he said that this is the make or break game of the season for them.
Yeah, well, whoever wins there probably. But you never know, you know. Lagunia sitting there, Macassa's there. They all, anything can happen. It's never over until the fat lady sings.
Yeah, and she does sing quite often.
Yeah.
Mariska, in talking about fat ladies, women's rugby, do you guys train a lot? Do you have to watch your diet? How difficult is it to be a professional? Is it professional?
No, it's
semi-professional?
No.
Not at all? You're still amateur?
Yeah, we all go to work, come home, train, go back home, feed the kids.
Difficult, huh?
Feed the dogs, whatever, and then...
Yes.
Yeah. Just like a hobby.
Do you focus on gym training and nutrition as much as the other sides?
Not as much, but it is a necessity that we do watch what you eat, obviously.
Evox Advanced Nutrition, folks. Evox Advanced Nutrition are one of our sponsors of the shows. Of course, the official supplier of the DHL Stormers and Western Province Rugby. I know you guys had some supplements on a tour that you went on recently.
We actually do use Evox after trainings. The recovery drink.
Shake. Yeah.
We've got our fitness trainer that makes it for us. So,
yes.
So we also use supplements like that.
It's quite important. And the team itself, do you guys get together often? And where do you train?
Well, Monday nights, especially with Western Province, Monday nights we train at the HPC in Bellville, and then either Wednesday nights we train.
I've been wondering why the Stormers players always are saying to me, their wives are saying that Monday nights the players always come home late. I sê hulle vir heel tyd, nee, jy kos is koud, kyk nou hier, elke maandag is jy laat. Yeah, the traffic is always bad on a Monday night coming home. So you train HPCs on a Monday?
Yeah, HPC, and then game day before game week we train Wednesdays and Thursdays. We usually train at Milnerton because our manager, she's also the chairperson there at the Milnerton Club.
Okay.
So we train there.
En sê ons 'n bietjie van die games, hoe dikwels speel julle? Is dit dieselfde struktuur soos met die WP rugby? So is 'n manspan?
Nee, ons het ook twee hoe kan mens sê, twee afdelings.
Ja.
Soos in ons afdeling het ons nou OP, grens, die bulle en ons. En dan in die ander is ons soos die Sharks en SVD, Cheetahs. Ons het ook die Lions in ons span. Ons het nou een game oor. 27 Augustus wat ons speel. Speel ons uit vir semi-final.
Nou, ek moet jou net vra, as jy 'n game speel soos die, het jy dancing boys? Die Stormers en die dancing girls. Ek wonder nou net, het jy 'n paar dancing boys daar wat die...
Ek seker daar is 'n paar seuns wat vir ons sal wil dans.
Okay, folks, there you have a challenge, all right? If you think that you'd like to don a DHL kit, no, this is not an formal approach, but before I get a phone call from Gavin Lewis, the head of marketing at Western Province, to say, what are you offering now? But if you are wanting to be a dancing boy, why don't you jump on Facebook and follow the ladies. Jump on Cape Rugby TV Facebook page. We'll pass on your wishes. You can be the dancing boy for the Western Province team, almost like a mascot. So how are you guys doing this season so far?
I think we're doing quite well. We've had one loss. that should have been a win, actually. It was just, I think, a bad day. We didn't pitch.
Like Marty's had against UCT over the weekend.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And the next game is a really important game. We need to win this to secure a home semi-final.
Is it difficult to keep that sort of mental composure from week to week?
Yes, it is. It's women.
Yeah.
The moods, the bitchiness, you know, it differs. It's women.
I don't know. I didn't personally say that.
You know, it's,
and nor did the rest of the panel. And did you notice Mr. H's finger went? She said it. Sy het gesê, nee ekkie. But it is a lot more dangerous, the environment with women.
It is. I think our coach, he should get a big pat on the back because the stuff he needs to deal with, the complaints.
I've got to ask this question. What happens when it's change room time? Must the coach wait outside?
Of course he does.
See, I would find that personally difficult to do from a coaching perspective. Because obviously you need to come in and do a spanpraatjie. So where do you do your spanpraatjies?
We have a team talk, but once we all dress, I think he's the one that's more shy. He'll come in and say, don't get undressed, please keep everything. And we're like, okay, just relax, please calm down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But of course it's the kind of world one must adapt to, and you must make it work. And I think those are the kind of little things that turns matches into successes. And certainly you've got your formula right. I mean, julle was laas jaar kampioene van die jaar, né?
That's right.
It was the first time actually that we've won the cup, but it was a great day. And
tell us about that day.
It was, we played the Lions.
Yeah.
The Lions were a really strong team to beat last year. And we played the final here in Cape Town. And it was just like, wow, we couldn't believe it because every year it's been either Blue Bulls or Eastern Province, and this year it was like Western Province.
What made the difference on the day?
I don't know. I just think we had a really good captain last year, and she's been the captain for quite a while.
Yeah.
So I've got big shoes to fill, but she's been a great leader, and that day we were just one big unit.
Are you consistent currently in the structure? Do you have the same ladies playing? Do you have lots of chops and changes? I mean, obviously any successful team depends on consistency.
Yes, we do have, I think 90%, say 80% of the players stay the same, because with women rugby, it's not like we can go to the shopping market and say, I want you. It doesn't work like that. So the players you play for 10 years, 15 years, and once you reach 40, you play a little more and then you stop.
Don't worry. The men don't stop. All right, because apparently, according to our record books, we still got some 50-year-olds on the team there. In actual fact, when we had our Springbok coach Peter de Villiers on the show not so long ago, he was saying that concerns him massively. But sponsors it is, and it's time to look after some of our sponsors. Of course, the Leisure Hotels has been looking after the show now for quite a while, and we're looking forward to keeping them on board and making sure that they help us all the way through. As you know, all you need to do if you want to win that competition, to go and have night's accommodation, bed and breakfast at the Fountain Towers or the Strand Towers, courtesy of Leisure Hotels, just SMS right now the word leisure to 32010. It's as easy as that. Send the word leisure to 32010 and you can put yourself in the mix. This week's winner was Janice Hughes. Congratulations, Janice. You win yourself a night's accommodation at the Fountain Towers. Absolutely fantastic venue, and you want to make sure that you get out there. Incidentally, folks, if you're watching on YouTube right now or on Ustream, if you're out there, you're not living in the Cape Town area and you come down to Cape Town, why don't you just drop us a message and we'll hook you up with the Strand Towers guys and they'll sort out your accommodation for you, no problem. It's time to turn our attention now to some of the questions that came in on the Western Province Club Rugby website, that is on the chat zone. And Lock05 asked the question, and of course it was a rugby game of the weekend, one of the old legendary games, Boys High against Gim. Mr. Isaiah is a groot game vir die skoolkinders. Die vraag wat daar ingekom het, they had an old boys team, okay, apparently. How old do you have to be to play a game for old boys?
Over 35.
Over 35?
Normally that's the age.
I don't think you'd have that answer. Is that it?
Yeah,
you have to be over 35.
Yeah.
So you can't be out of school by 5 years and go play Old Boys, huh?
No. Old Boys is regarded.
So you're finally allowed to play now that's been your birthday.
Okay, now
you can finally play.
You play Old Boys.
Finally, Mr. H is allowed to play for the Old Boys. He's come of age. Let's look at some of the other fan pics that came in over the weekend. And C. Constance sent us some great picture. This is Solarians' third team. On the field side, we are at field side, and this was sent in by Cape Rugby TV. That's us. We sent this one in. The UCT players warming on the bench. It's quite interesting to see how shy the guys get when the camera gets there. Our next picture here is from Rashid Isaacs. Rashid also taking some amazing pictures there at the People's Post. Rashid, thanks again. This is the match, Women's Day, yesterday at Florida Park, Tigerberg against UCT, Tigers versus UWC at least, not UCT. And then the next picture there, also the Tigers' attitude. The Tigers 17 loss against UWC. Our further picture then, Rashid Isaacs, Louis Visser of Progress chasing down Patulo Mapanza of Khayelitsha. Crusaders, Progress winning there 16-12. Our next picture there against Marties, not Marties, those are more like Smarties, but Marties looking rather anxious as they took a loss against UCT. How was the women's rugby tournament? Were you at the game at Florida Park yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yeah, Mariska?
No, unfortunately I wasn't.
Yeah. Do you do those kind of outreach projects? Does the women's rugby team get around?
Yeah, we do. I think it was last year we had a day, I can't remember where it was, with the Springbok Legends. We had a day with them and some school, I just can't remember where it was. We had a few of us went and we did ball games with them and that was really exciting. It's something we should do more often. And
so were they kids?
Yes.
And were there little girls as well?
Girls as well.
And they were throwing the ball around?
And they are actually very eager to, you know, because they're seeing these big girls with rugby balls and they want to do it as well.
Mr. H, are we seeing, I mean, we see the boys now at Primrose and we see the boys at Trafalgar and so on. Are we seeing girls play at youth rugby?
Yes.
Yeah?
The tournament yesterday was under 13, under 16, under 18.
Okay.
And there were like 8 of each in a group.
8 of each in a group. Oh, that's fantastic.
So
there's a few thousand girls playing.
Every week there's new schools coming to the fore to say that they want to play.
And it's amazing to see the skills of some of those girls. It's like we had one girl, I think she's I can't remember what team she played with, but just the way the stepping and it's like, okay.
Are they playing barefoot rugby?
Some of the informal settlements, they do still play barefoot rugby, but that doesn't stop them. Yeah. Because I mean, they don't care if you come here with your togs tramping all over you. They just sometimes during the game we played, I think Marty's played against one of the teams, and the one girl actually stopped. She took off her togs, threw it off the field, and started running again.
Yes.
Because it's more comfortable for them that way.
Yeah. Well, Egan Seconds back in his day used to put weights in his togs apparently, just to help the other players catch him because he was so fast. He had to.
I had to. Yeah. I had to keep them,
at bay.
Yeah.
You had to give them a chance.
At least.
To catch you.
At least.
And they used to make heavy spikes.
Yeah, my studs were a little bit heavier, so that at least they can see the brand when I run away from them, and then they're still in reach.
I know they used to call Egan Seconds the butcher because he used to carve it up the middle. In actual fact, while we've got Sinovoya here, why don't we zoom in a little bit there on Mr. Seconds? Let's get a nice close-up shot of a rugby eye. Come on, let's get on. Let's get nice and close there. You can, and Egan, I think you should actually open your eye. There, folks. Keep your head focused that way. And here we go, folks. There you can see it. That's a lovely shiner there.
That's battle scars.
Those are battle scars.
Well, I've heard that chicks dig scars. So
chicks dig scars?
Yes. Battle scars. So.
You're going to make him go outside and scratch himself.
Yeah. I was about to say, someone hand me a knife. Not for add scars, but so I could slit my wrists after listening to that pathetic pickup line. I mean, I've heard some bad ones, but that's about as low as they go. Okay, it's time to look after our sponsors, and we heard Mariska talking about the Evox products and the ladies using it for recovery products. We do know that a lot of folks are using the products now during the month of Ramadan to maintain weight. But yes, all you need to do is tell us who is the official sports nutrition supplier to the DHL Stormers and Western Province Rugby and Western Province Club Rugby. And don't remember, folks, if you're a club rugby player, you're entitled to speak to the guys directly All you need to do is get in touch with Evox to speak to the coach or captain. They'll put you in touch with us. And if your coach or captain has not told you this, then you should really be rapping them over the knuckles and asking them why it is that you as a player have not been looked after. The Western Province Rugby Union has got a sponsorship arrangement with Evox, and all you need to do is take that opportunity. So tell us, who is the official sports nutrition supplier to the Western Province Rugby and BHL sides? SMS that answer to 32010 and you could win yourself a 5 kilogram bucket of Mega Grow. This week's winner of Evox's 5 kilo Mega Grow was Grant Pringle. And Grant, congratulations, Grant. We're going to be in touch with you soon, or the guys from Evox at least will. And you will win for yourself a bucket of 5 kilogram Mega Grow. There you see it, folks. There's 5 kilos of meal replacement in here, all right? And for those of you that might have heard some scary stories in the newspapers, don't worry, it's a meal replacement. There's nothing bad in here. It's exactly the same kind of food that you used to get when you were a baby and you had baby formula, and it's probably exactly the same kind of food that you're going to be drinking when you reach Mr. H's age. All right. But anything to keep on the weight. It is time for Union on the Spot. Mr. H, you know, when we started the show, many people said, yes, but you'll never say anything bad about the Union. You'll never criticize the Union. Well, we don't shy away from that opportunity. We do put the Union on the spot, and that's what we're doing now. Maybe you can answer that question for me. What have you guys done for the Union lately, at least for the clubs lately?
Well, on Thursday, I sent out a notice to tell the clubs that they can collect balls for them.
Is it difficult to arrange balls for clubs? Everybody must want balls. I mean, how many balls do you give to a club?
Well, at this stage we gave 5 match balls, but the value of the match balls for the 90 clubs is 150,000.
150,000 rands worth of... I should get into the ball business. Yeah. But there's 150,000 rand for those balls, and then you give each club 5 match balls?
Yeah.
All right. Do they look after the balls?
Well, I hope so.
Sê my nou eerlik, hoeveel mense probeer altyd 'n ekstra bal smokkel?
Elke een.
Ek sou self dieselfde doen, joh. 5 balle, Mr. H, nee man, wat moet ek met 5 balle doen? Ek het dan 6 spanne.
We used to put it in little bags, you know, and then give it to the guys and say, just take your bag when you come here.
So they don't count.
And then they will come back and say, you know, there was only 4 in the bag.
There was only 4.
And now he said, no, discount it yourself before you leave. And
Yeah.
But now, we've done that with the lottery's assistance.
Yeah.
And I can tell the clubs now that for next year, we will give them another 5 new match balls, so they don't have to...
So the Lotto has assisted you with that. You've managed to raise the funds. You've gone through the process. You've given balls to the teams.
And by next Thursday, with our connection with the Department of Sport, they will give 33 clubs medical equipment and
first aid kits and stuff. First aid kits for that's of course very important. But of course it's important to make sure that if along with those those sporting kits, you need to be box smart.
Yeah, you must be box smart.
You can't not be. Can we get somebody on the show at some stage to tell us more about being box smart?
Yes, we will do that.
I think that's quite important. Time to look after another one of our sponsors, folks, before we start moving on to the fixtures for the weekend. Well, it is time for White Line Fever. White Line Fever is brought to you by Color Tone Paints. So, if you want to hook yourself up with white line markers for your sporting fields, all you need to do is SMS the word Color Tone to 32010 and look at the spelling, COLORTONE, not the South African spelling, that's the American spelling, Color Tone. You send that word to 32010 and don't forget to include your club's name, all right? Include your club's name and you can win for yourself white line markers for your field. Okay, it's as easy as that. They said to me that the reason that they changed the word color tone from the South African version to the American version is, of course, because there were less letters and that it would be a lot cheaper that way to spell it, considering the fact that we're in a recession. The winner of last week's Color Tone Paints hamper is Elsish Rafir. Congratulations, Elsish. You win yourself a White Line Fever hamper, and the guys from Color Tone will be in touch with you shortly. Color Tone, the White Line sports field marker of choice. www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. That's where you want to go. Leave us those comments. We're still going to hook somebody up with a set of double tickets to go and watch the match between Western Province Rugby and the Sharks. That's this Friday. It's going to be an absolute cracker. When we get back, we'll take a look at the final matchups for the weekend. Of course, this weekend we're out at UWC against Solarians. It's going to be a cracker of a match. Make sure you come and join us there. And don't forget, the guys from Belhar are going to have a nice family rugby occasion this weekend. Vic's match will have a special flavour this weekend with a lot of emphasis on family entertainment. Local radio stations going to be involved together with Vodacom. And of course, remember, folks, most importantly, make sure that you do not take any alcohol with you. No alcohol to that match between Belhar and Vix, all right? It's going to be a lot of fun and entertainment. And as I say, Cape Town Rugby, we are going to be at the match between UWC and Solarians on the other side of the world. Let's quickly look at some of the matchups then this weekend. In Super League A, I think that's where we should probably start. We'll take a look at the fixtures there. Belhar against Vix, Durban against Hammies, those are the pick of the weeks. And in Super League B, it's Tygerberg against Kailsriver. These picks of courtesy of our chief cook and bottle washer at Western Province Rugby, Farley Felton. In Premier League B, we'll take a look at the selections there. It's Solarians against UWC. As I said, that's where we will be. That looks like it's going to be a cracker match. I think also look out there for Kraaifontein against Hamlets. In Division 1, the one to look out for is Northerns against Eerste Rivier. And yeah, I suppose those are the big picks of the week. Mariska, it's been a real pleasure having you on the show. When is your next match?
Next match, 27th of August. We're up against the Blue Bulls. And this week Saturday we've actually got a club game. Marty's, I think it's the Tygerberg Attitude Tigers they're called now.
The Attitude Tigers, that's what they call them. You know, something I have to point out to you was that there was a complaint. So folks, you might want to address this in the UCT. There was a complaint that Marty's has always been Marty's and the Ikeys have always been the Ikeys. Now all of a sudden they're the Ike Tigers. And they moved away from this. Anyway, I'm sure we'll get some sort of comment in there. All right then, it's time for us to find a winner for those set of rugby tickets on Facebook. So I think our winner this weekend, and let's just quickly look at the numbers there on www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. We've grown nicely, and our winner this evening goes to Oliver Olsen, who made it very simple and said, "Great show." Oliver, congratulations. It was as easy as that. He just said, "Great show." But I must say there were a few other people who said some even nicer things. Yeah. But they were saying them about Mariska, Mr. H. Not about you. Yeah. Folks, if you think that Mariska was absolutely fantastic on the show this evening, why don't you give us a thumbs up at Facebook. And Mariska, are you on Facebook?
Yes, I am.
You have a fan page?
No, I don't.
We're going to have to speak about your social media skills, all right? Incidentally, folks, we are encouraging you to jump on social media. Twitter, over the weekends, very easy. Hashtag Western Province or WP Club Rugby. You put that in any Twitter feed, and people who follow the channel, it's called the back channel on social media. And if you need any more on this, just inbox me or get on the Cape Rugby TV. But just put hashtag, it's a little hash sign, WP Club Rugby in your score during the time that you're tweeting. And that means anybody that has the search for hash WP Club Rugby will pick up on those scores. And then, folks, if you do get a tweet out there, don't be stingy and miserable and ask people to follow you to find the scores. Just retweet it, all right? Social media is about sharing. Score comes in, you hit the retweet button, and that means that everybody that's following you will also be able to get it. So share the content, and then everybody in Western Province Rugby will be able to get that in. Egan, you're up to this weekend?
Yeah, we're in Durban.
Yeah.
Big one away for us again. So hopefully we can do our job and hope the other teams don't have to do us favors.
Well, Durban came off a good result last week, so you're going to have your work cut out for you.
And they beat us the first time around on Hamilton's field. So.
On Hamilton's field, yeah. Mariska, it's been a real pleasure having you on, and we hope to get you on more often now. Sure. So folks can We really have to we need a Western Province Women's Rugby Facebook fan page, eh?
Yeah, we should.
Are you guys planning on doing a calendar soon?
We've got a calendar.
Yeah?
Wow. We've got a calendar.
Wow.
I did not bring one though.
Yeah. Okay.
It's actually a lingerie calendar.
Yes. My favorite kind of calendar. You know, as things go.
So we're doing that to...
Even if it's from 1922. We'll be looking out for that calendar. Listen, all the best of luck. Fantastic to have you on the show. Mr. H, you and me this weekend, UWC against Solarians. It's going to be fantastic.
Out at Solari's Pass.
Out at Solari's Pass, yeah. Folks, well, it looks like that is what it's all about. www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. That's where you can find us. It's the easiest place to inbox us. You can follow us on Twitter on @Cape Rugby TV. And incidentally, go to the Western Province Rugby website, www.wpclubrugby.co.za. I see the chat zone is getting heated up and that the laws have been laid in terms of how you can and can't post. All right, why don't you just talk about rugby, eh? Talk about scores and results and fixtures and things like that. It's absolutely fantastic. In the meantime, don't forget those fan pics. Send them to the Vodacom campaign, the I Love WP Club Rugby campaign. If you want to find out more about that, go and look on the front page of the Western Province Rugby site, wpclubrugby.co.za. That is the name of the site. That's a wrap from me. We'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. It's Cape Rugby, the very best. And we are now the biggest rugby show in the Western Cape by a long shot. See you soon. Bye-bye.